Hello, YouTube. It's been a while, long time no see. And yeah, I think that there is two commodities, softs, that is about to do a Coco. And by Coco, I mean go ballistic. I called this move as well. Like half a year before it started to break out. I said that Coco could go on an absolute tear. I sold way too early, but nonetheless, I think there are two commodities that will do similar moves. We are talking cocoa, excuse me, we are talking sugar, and we are talking coffee, these two softs. And yeah, I will not be selling that early into the move, that is for sure. I will try to get more out of it. But I want to show you the cocoa trade here, how I saw that initially, and actually we might have more to come for cocoa. So let's see how it goes here. I want to show you again, just very broad, long term. We're talking 50 years worth of pattern here, about to basically finally break that structure and go into the next level. And yeah, I'm trying to find a way to play this the best way possible with different stocks and vehicles, whatever it can be. And in order to participate again in that, I will share everything for the members of the Substack. That is where I do most of the stuff. Hence, the reasoning I haven't been doing much on YouTube lately as well. So join me here again on the Substack to see how I'm going to play this one here. I think it could be quite interesting here. So, Coco, I would like to remind you we are on the 3 monthly time frame. So every single candlestick is 3 months worth of data. So we're talking roughly 65 trading days. Roughly, yeah. So very, very long term. You can see here we're back to the 1980s here on Coco. The setup back in the day that I looked at here on Coco, and the reasoning is actually something with regarding to more upside is actually something that I looked into like a week ago and saw that, hey, we might have more upside really for Coco. Initially, this was the big squeeze, the big power node, as I like to call it, where everything is getting pinched. We have moving averages here. If we drop down a few time frames, you can really see how tight it got here. The monthly moving averages, everything is coiled up like you have never seen before, and we went on to a tear. And yeah, we have basically gone from the breakout there. Let's call it 3K. It peaked at roughly 12K. Now it has pulled back a bit. Okay, nothing goes in a straight line, almost, but yeah, that was the initial setup that I had there, and there were some parallels going on as well that made some sense here. You can see we had a parallel there. We overshot a bit and all that. So really, really strong move after you had 15 years roughly worth of compression, and then boom, everything, blasted to the upside. No one was talking Coco. And obviously, once this started to really move, people was saying, oh, it's because of this and that and all that. No, this was in the charts way ahead of before it hit the news. However, I am seeing a little bit of potentially actually more upside in the beloved Coco here. Look at that. That is actually a very strong cup and handle play. And if that's the case, it is not picture perfect, I know. But again, therefore, we could have even more upside from the neckline there, or the horizontal line from the cup and handle. We could actually see this one double once again from 7 to like 16K. So Coco, extremely, extremely tight move here, and this basically went vertical. So that was the initial view that I had there on the Coco. Boom, great move. These compressions, they don't come very often. And I want to dive into coffee here. To coffee. Again, we're looking back 60 years, roughly 60 years. Actually, very, very precise 60 years here. And look at the range. We are basically within roughly 40 to like 350. That is basically your range, right? So one could argue again that once we break here roughly 300, 310, right? 310 right there. We have the high there, but basically breaking this channel, we could see a move similar to the Coco trade. Nothing, is set in stone, but really once you leave such a range here, 60 years worth of range, you often have a target that is the height of that range. You add it on top. So we're talking 2,200 roughly as the maximum greed target. Same thing applies here. You could, again, I know we're touching there, but to some degree still cup and handle. So therefore you have the measured move up to here. And yeah, I mean, this is again, I will say is a very beautiful, similar type structure. We don't have the exact same compression like we had on the Coco where everything got coiled, really tight, breakout, tight stop, and then you just rallied. This is not, the same way, but again, once we start to get above like 300 here, it's gonna look really, really good. Ideally, we're gonna come tag it, and then we just hoover here for like I don't know, half a year, whatever. And when it breaks, whatever structure it gets us here, that's the entry, that's the stop loss. And boom, it's gonna go really, really quickly to the upside, just like you saw on Coco. So yeah, coffee here. I'm excited. Again, we are talking the 3 monthly here. Again, 3 monthly bars. So it's not tomorrow, but it could be in 2025 where we see that breakout. And yeah, all of a sudden, people will start to complain about higher coffee prices. But again, it is in the charts that the possibilities are for coffee to go a lot higher in prices, right? We're talking 200, 300, 400% easily in coffee. So at that point in time, actually drinking coffee is a little bit of a luxury because each cup of coffee is going to be so expensive. So again, I will find three vehicles, I think, on how to play this. Some stocks, some ETFs, maybe depending on what I have in store, and we're going to take full advantage of that when that happens. Again, even though this is a soft commodity, getting 3, 4, 5x in is massive in a commodity that is really boring. Again, not many people are interested in those. So here we have also a rocket ship that hasn't taken off yet, sugar. And yes, sugar, I'm a huge fan of silver, but sugar and silver, if you overlay, again, this has nothing to do with sugar, but again, if you didn't know, I want to show you that actually if you overlay here the sugar, excuse me, the silver on top of that, you can actually see here, we're going to log scale it, that the price action is actually very, very similar here. Again, this is done very quickly, so don't, if don't get too mad about it. But sugar, silver, they go hand in hand. Not 100% perfectly, but anyways, enough talking about silver. Sugar it is. Look at this. We have 60 years worth of compression. 60 years worth of compression. And to be honest, we are not far off to break again the structure. You have the similar kind of pattern there, the major cup and handle, just like you saw on Coco, just like you're seeing on silver, just like what you're seeing on coffee. And I guess there are a few more that I haven't found. But when and if sugar roughly breaks, let's call it 28, 29 here, we're going to see a move again, similar. Again, the exact same reasoning is behind it. But look at the potential move that we can have in sugar. We are talking, right now we are at 20, roughly. And we could see a move upon the break there if things get really, really out of hand to $550 for the sugar on the SB1 chart here, 2000%. And again, can you imagine how expensive sugar will be at that point in time? Um, I do have a theory that futures markets are created, back in the day in order to control the price as long as possible. And therefore, once you know, the control is lost, boom, it's gonna be you're gonna have a high expansion due to all that, uh, compressed energy buildup. The price is of course being controlled to keep it down as long as possible. But you can also see here again, we have an internal. This is the peak again, same peak as silver 2011. Huge cup there, little handle here potentially, and again, we're gonna go higher. So sugar, coffee, in the not so distant future, and I mean not tomorrow, not this week, not next week, but again, we are not that far off. We could see it, in 25 into maybe into 2026 here, that move to the upside. And also again, a little bit back to silver. If sugar starts to move heavily here, then guess what silver is doing? It's going to join the party. Of course it is. We also have a major cup and handle on the silver, right? Like that, and we are roughly right here. $50, that is, you measure here from there on silver, and you're getting 600 roughly, and $60 silver, right? That's the measured move, boom, all the way up to there. So silver looks really good as well with the cup and handle. Remember, this is also a 50-year cup and handle on the silver. Same thing here applies. Looks really, really good. Internal structure there as well. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. We got a break on the 4th. Sugar is going to be insanely expensive for you and I, and well, everyone else, of course. But that is my views here on sugar, on coffee, and I will personally try to play it as well as and as best as possible, and hopefully gain from this in the best way possible. Again, Substack. That is where you can potentially, well, you will be able to see what I'm doing here when it comes to sugar and silver. What a chart. Look at the silver here. Look at sugar, 60 years worth of compression. 60 years worth of, range compression, whatever you want to call it, but still same kind of thing here. On the Coco, we only had, again here, this is also 60 years roughly worth of play here, and that also broke. I mean, these two are going to blast to the upside, in my opinion, and it's going to be swift. Extremely, extremely swift. So have a great day, guys. You know where to find me on X, you know where to find me on YouTube and all that good stuff. So if you like the content, please do what you do best. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a great day. And yeah, tomorrow we have the weekly close after the Trump election, and a lot of volatility is coming in. So I will try to do my best to give members of the Substack an update tomorrow after the close. Have an amazing day, guys. Stay safe, all that good stuff. Cheers. Bye.